Hello and welcome to TTVNEWS broadcasting on TayNinhTV newspaper and radio television with some latest events in TayNinhTV province and across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, on the morning of August 5th, Chairman of TayNinhTV Provincial Business Committee Nguyễn Văn Úc chaired a meeting to review the public investment disbursement progress as of July 30th, 2025 and to discuss tasks and solutions for the coming period.
In his directive remarks, the chairman Nguyễn Văn Úc emphasized the need to resolve all the bottlenecks, tolerate and expedite the disbursement and finalization immediately upon project completion, avoiding procedural delays that waste the time and resources. The Department of Finance was assigned to review and adjust the allocation of public investment capital in August, including the boosting disbursement for the well-performing projects and flexibly allocating the funds from slow-moving ones. All the units were instructed to submit weekly and monthly disbursement progress reports so the Provincial Business Committee can monitor and guide the implementation in line with the overall plan, with the goal of reaching 70% of disbursements by the third quarter of 2025. Earlier reports indicated that the province currently has 33 project investors, with 15 of them having disbursed over 50%, meeting the expected schedule. At the end of July 5, TayNinh's total planned public investment capital for the year is over 7,643 billion Vietnam dong, with nearly 47% disbursed so far.
Regarding public investment disbursement, statistics show that as of the end of July 2025, nationwide public investment disbursement is estimated to reach nearly 40% of the year's plan, equivalent to over 388 trillion Vietnam dong, an increase of more than 10% compared to the same period last year. This is a positive outcome, especially as the country undergoes a transition to a two-level local government model. Notably, local budget capital disbursement reached almost 57.5%, a 24.2% increase over the same period last year. However, 38 out of 42 ministry and central agencies, along with 15 out of 34 localities, still have disbursement rates below the national average. The main reason is that some units were only recently assigned additional capital plans and have not had time to allocate funds. In response, the government and the Ministry of Finance have issued strong directives to accelerate disbursement progress. Ministry sectors and localities have been urged to remove bottlenecks in site clearance, complete investment procedures, and reallocate capital to projects with high disbursement potential. Priority is also being given to key projects such as expressways, coastal roads, and national target programs to ensure that the 50% disbursement target is met by the third quarter and 100% by year-end, as directed by the Prime Minister. Accelerating public investment disbursement is considered a key driver in achieving the national economic growth target of over 8% in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, contributing to the collective effort in promoting local socio-economic development play a crucial role in fulfilling financial obligations to the state. The practical contributions to the state budgets serve as a driving force for local economic and social progress.
As of July, the total state budget revenue is set for 28,000 billion Vietnam dong, and the local economic structure continues to follow the said direction. And this outcome reflects not only the efforts of the entire political system, but also the unity and the cooperation of the people and the business community, with the taxpayer playing a particularly important role. Phát Thịnh Motorbike Company Limited is one of the enterprises consistently recognized by the tax sector for its compliance with the tax policies. Every year, the company strictly complies with the tax regulations and contributes around 3 billion Vietnam dong to the state budget. From the beginning of the year until now, our revenue has grown compared to last year. Tax procedures and vehicle documentation have been smooth. Phát Thịnh aims for the growth, and we are targeting a 10 to 15% increase compared to the same period last year. And so far, the performance in the first half of the year has met our plan. Co-op Mart Binh Lức, which has been operating in Binh Lức Commune since 2016, is another enterprise regularly praised by the tax authorities for its tax compliance. In the early months of 2025, Co-op Mart Binh Lức contributed over 2 billion Vietnam dong in taxes to the state budget. The tech sector has proactively supported the businesses, especially with arrest-related matters following administrative mergers, and tax authorities have provided guidance on procedures and regulations, also helping local business and households operate more smoothly. And to help the taxpayer feel confident in growing their businesses and fulfilling their financial duties, in recent years, provincial and local leaders, along with the departments and sectors, have consistently stood by the taxpayers, listening and proactively implementing the solution to address their needs and support development. We will continue directing all tech officials in the province to work closely with local governments, especially in newly established communes, to handle taxpayer documents in coordination with both levels of local authorities, ensuring the most open and convenient procedures for the people and businesses. It can be said that the taxpayers play an essential and meaningful role in the development process of the locality, and TayNinhTV province remain committed to supporting and facilitating stable operations for all organizations and individuals, taxpayers who contribute to building a fast-growing and sustainable TayNinhTV.
Turn to other notable news. The audience on the afternoon of August 5th, TayNinhTV Department of Education and Training held a working session with the Asia Korea International Federation for Multicultural Exchange to discuss a potential cooperation program for training and selecting students to study abroad in fields such as healthcare, sport, golf, and several other disciplines. During the meeting, representatives from the Federation introduced Southern University, a reputable educational institution with over 30 years of operation and around 12,000 students, including 2,000 international students, the majority of whom are from Vietnam. The university specializes in healthcare and sports training, particularly in golf, and currently has no limit on the number of Vietnamese students it is willing to admit at the college level and above. The Federation proposed that TayNinhTV province implements policies to support local students studying abroad to meet the workforce demands of Korean enterprises operating in Vietnam. In the healthcare sector, graduates could be the opportunity to work either in the South Korea or with Korean invested companies within Vietnam. Additionally, the Federation expressed a desire to send Korean students and interns to TayNinhTV for study and cultural exchange. This meeting opened up opportunities to foster educational cooperation, improve human resource quality, and expand cultural and sports exchanges between TayNinhTV and South Korea in the coming time. Meanwhile, on the morning of August 5th, Deputy Director of TayNinhTV Department of Home Affairs Nguyễn Đại Tấn, along with leaders from related departments and sectors, held a working session with the Asia Korea International Federation for Multicultural Exchange to discuss training programs and the supply of labor for the high-tech agriculture and aquaculture sectors.
After meeting, the Department of Home Affairs introduced TayNinhTV potential in labor development. The province currently has around 1.7 million workers, with over 75% of the workforce having received vocational training. In 2024, approximately 2,000 local workers were abroad for employment under labor contracts, and TayNinhTV hopes that in the near future, both sides will connect and sign a cooperation agreement to strengthen the ties between TayNinhTV province and localities in South Korea. The leaders of Asia Korea International Federation for Multicultural Exchange highly appreciated TayNinhTV's labor force in the fields of high-tech agriculture and aquaculture also. They also affirmed that in the coming periods, the Federation will closely coordinate with the province in implementing vocational training programs and receiving high-quality human resources from TayNinhTV to work in South Korea.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the 2025 enrollment session begins, Long An College is actively implementing counseling and career orientation activities across its four training campus. With over 12,400 enrollment slots spanning various education levels, from regular training to college and a wide range of vocational programs, the school aims to meet the learning needs of students after lower and upper secondary school, as well as the recruitment demands of businesses. At Long An College, Đông Tháp 10 campus, this year the school is enrolling students in 11 intermediate level vocational programs with about 360 available slots. This day, the enrollment consulting team is working continuously to support students and parents with the admission process. Our facilities are currently well invested to ensure that graduates are job-ready. Each year, we organize recruitment efforts to attract students to the school, ensuring effective student placement and career guidance. At the main campus of Long An College in Long An World, Mr. Trần Hoàng Phúc came with his family to help his younger brother complete the admission process. They were provided with detailed consultation on available programs, tuition support policies, and post-graduation job opportunities. At this campus, the admissions office remains open until 8 p.m. daily to accommodate students and parents traveling from distant areas, ensuring they can complete their admissions procedures on time. I see the school offers many vocational programs that provide stable jobs for students. In addition, the school has good incentives like a 2-year tuition discount. With a diverse training portfolio closely aligned with actual labor market demands, Long An College is readily asserting its role in training a skilled workforce and contributing to local youth employment. Vocational training, employment, and life stability. This practical direction helps students after secondary and high school education quickly integrate into the labor market and develop themselves in today's context.
Since the beginning of the year, TayNinhTV border forces have achieved remarkable results in managing and protecting the border, as well as in combating crime, contributing to maintaining security and order in the border area. Over the past 7 months, the TayNinhTV border successfully cracked a major cases involving in illegal trafficking and transportation of drugs, human trafficking, smuggling, and transport of banned goods across the border. A total of 33 cases involving 33 individuals have been detected, arrested, and handed. And this evidence includes 2.5 kilograms of virus drugs, more than 1,700 synthetic drug tablets, and a range of transport vehicles and related items. In addition, the force successfully rescued for the victim of human trafficking and transferred 17 cases involving 16 individuals to relevant authorities for investigation under their jurisdiction. And from now until the end of the year, TayNinhTV border will continue to implement a comprehensive range of professional measures to ensure political security and social order along the provincial border.
Social policy-related sources continue to prove effective across the province. Many households have been given the means to expand production. Students are financially supported to continue their education, and rural infrastructure is gradually improving. In the first half of 2025, through social policy-related programs, more than 13,200 disadvantaged households, including poor, near-poor, and other policy beneficiaries, were granted preferential loans in TayNinhTV. These loans have helped create jobs for over 15,200 workers and supported nearly 1,300 students from difficult backgrounds with funding to cover educational expenses. Additionally, the credits was used to construct over 25,800 rural clean water and sanitation projects and 54 units of social housing. Continue the program with domestic news. Ladies and gentlemen, on the evening of August 4, while chairing the first meeting of the National Steering Committee for the implementation of Resolution number 68 by the Politburo on the development of the private economy, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, who also serves as the head of Steering Committee, emphasized that institutions must be strengthened into a competitive advantage for enterprises.
The meeting assessed that 3 months after the assessment and implementation of the resolution on private economic development, there have been positive changes and a significant shift in the mindset and perception of society regarding the role of private sector. This has led to a strong surge in the entrepreneurial activity. In June of 2025 alone, more than 24,000 new businesses were established nationwide, and bringing the total number of new enterprises in the first 7 months of the year to nearly 108,000. And during this period, the country also recorded the establishment of 536,000 new household businesses and saw more than 66,000 private business resume operation. In his concluding remarks, the Prime Minister urged ministry sectors and local authorities to remain steadfast in achieving the objectives set out in the resolution of the Police Bureau, the National Assembly and the government. He stressed the need to tailor implementations to specific conditions and context and met the demands of businesses and pursues the overarching goals of making the private sector a key driving force of national economy.
As part of the series of events celebrating the 80th anniversary of the People's Public Security Forces, August 19, 1945, August 19, 2025, and the 20th anniversary of the National Day for National Security Protection, a special technical and tactical performance by the People's Public Security Force was held. This event showcased the highest level of professionalism from this elite force, along with the modern equipment used in the special operations. With the participation of over 200 elite officers and soldiers and a range of specialized modern vehicles, this was the first large-scale performance by the Public Security Guard Force held in the pedestrian zone around Hoàng Kiếm Lake in the heart of Hanoi's capital. The program delivered an authentic experience, allowing the public to gain a deeper understanding of the work, challenges, and number of responsibility undertaken by these silent squadrons throughout the years. Over nearly 2 hours in front of tens of thousands of excited citizens and tourists in Hoàng Kiếm pedestrian area, hundreds of officers and soldiers showcased a variety of outstanding technical and tactical demonstrations, highlighting the skill and bravery of the Vietnam People's Public Security Guard Force. Ladies and gentlemen, agricultural production and exports have shown positive results in the first 7 months of 2025. However, achieving raw targets in the last month of the year will face many challenges, according to the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment leadership, speaking to the press on August 4 in Hanoi. Production and business activities in agriculture, forestry, fishery, and new rural development nationwide over the past 7 months have achieved encouraging results. Specifically, the total export turnover of agriculture, forestry, and fishery products reached $39.68 billion, up 14.7% compared to the same period last year. The trade surplus was $11.52 billion. The United States remains the largest importer of Vietnam agricultural, forestry, and fishery products. Therefore, the new import tax rates imposed by the U.S. will directly affect Vietnam's seafood exports. Seafood exports to the U.S. market are valued at $1.82 billion, including $800 million in shrimp, $400 million in pangasius fish, and $400 million in tuna. We are planning to shift markets focus towards China, the halal market, and the EU to reduce risks from the U.S. market if the proposed 20% tariff takes effect. These are areas where we need proactive solutions and contingency plans to achieve the annual export target of $65 billion. Meanwhile, on the production side, animal disease outbreaks are complicated. Currently, 32 out of 34 provinces have African swine fever, with over 100,000 pets killed. The recent seasonal changes in both the north and south and flooding have created conditions for pathogens to persist in the environment. This is mainly affects small-scale farms, which are most vulnerable due to inadequate veterinary hygiene and biosecurity measures. In some areas, improper disposal of pig carcasses has contributed to spreading the disease. Given this situation, the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment is directing specialized agencies and localities to take decisive action in disease prevention and control. At the same time, it is implementing coordinated trade promotion and market opening measures to maintain the growth targets for 2025. And that's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.